Governor Tazarna Akira Bey with Allodium Huru Martanium Provinciae. I'm being accompanied by my Sharifian, Zacharias Aaron Bey.
Thank you for coming.
Islam.
So then primarily I want to focus on the history of what will become AMPAC out of the study group that was headed by Tariq. Do you know Tariq's last name?
Bey.
Okay. I contacted him through the website, got his phone number, met him for coffee, and was like, I want to start studying with a group of Moors. Can you help me? And he took it from there. So if you can give us kind of just the history as you remember it, and you can start at any point in time you want to. We got plenty of tape.
How far you want me to go back? Because I can go back as far as when we started with Tariq.
Do that.
Okay, well, so we called Tariq and Zach called Tariq and he talked to him. And he was like, oh, well, come by the house. You know, we met up with him. We talked, you know, and it started from there. We started going over having meetings with him. And at that time, it was me, Zach, a guy named David, Noble, and I had some other people sitting in there, but they weren't in the group. So we decided, okay, you know, we want to start studying with him. Then Noble, of course, went away because he went away for about, 6 months, almost, I think 6 months or
Almost
a
a year.
And Gabonde and Sana came in, so he introduced us to them. After that, it was smooth sailing. We all would get together, have meetings, and just, you know, I think it was like once or twice a week or something like that. We would go over there while he's doing the nationality documents. I would help him on the computer with whatever, you know, whatever he didn't know how to do. I would get on his computer and help him. Then we started moving to basically coming to our place, doing it in the park, different little things like that. And it started to build. So we started getting more people and it was good.
So when I happened upon you, it was at Utah Park.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So how long had you guys been meeting before Utah
It was
Park?
over a year.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when I think when I met you guys, it was probably like 15, 20 people.
Right. And it was more, but a lot of people weren't there. Yeah, when you came along, I think you came along around the time J&M came around, if I'm not mistaken, or a little before.
He was way before J&M.
Because I know when J&M came around, it was like...
They were at the park on Dayton.
They followed us there.
Because I know when we started going to their meetings, they were in Kanye's place.
Mm-hmm.
So we never met them at the park. When we started going, they were at Kanye's.
Jay came to the park by himself without Kanye.
And then Kanye came behind him.
Like the second.
I think the second meeting.
Or third week.
Yes.
What happened?
Because it was Jay and what's his name? Tarif, yes. So him and Jay came to the park, and they, you know, they were sitting there, and Jay was like, "Oh, I'm excited." Didn't know the creature that was behind that, but that's, you know, it was good the first time we met him. Everything was smooth. I talked to him, got to know him, because Tariq was telling him, you know, talk to me. I know a lot about I do a lot of studying, still do. So, you know, it was good at first, and then we started going to the meetings, and a lot of people would get offended by how Jay would speak, by calling people incompetent, by saying you can't read. Okay, but if you tell a person they can't read, what do you mean? Don't just put that out there, and a person can't read that well. That's offensive.
So, here's a question. Tariq Bey, the original leader of the study group, was more focused on the divine aspect of the movement. And then there was a shift from divine to the government aspect. Can you kind of explain that? Or
Well, because we can stay with the divine. Basically, I'd like to put them both together.
they're supposed to go hand in hand.
Right.
International.
You can't have one without the other. So my thing was to put it together. You need government. That's the only way these people are going to recognize us.
So, just to refocus us, from Utah Park to Dayton Park, and then to the domicile of Kanye Bay.
Right.
We had been meeting there approximately, what, 2-3 months?
I would say a little bit more than that, because when the government piece came out, I think Tariq had stepped down by then.
Right.
He stepped down when we were in the building. He came, I think, maybe twice to the building, if I'm not mistaken. That second time I saw him, I gave him a hug. He was out of there. I never saw him again.
Brother Tariq is not here at this time to speak on his personal energy, but he came to me and Akira and said the new people that came to the group, their energy was off. So he told me and Akira then, he said, Zach and Akira, love you guys, but I can't deal with these new people you guys have.
Especially,
so we lost 6 people behind this particular individual. 6. And they say when you guys no longer dealing with this individual, we'll come back. So we kind of convinced them, at least give the brother a chance. You know, everybody deserves a chance. Right. So they came back just a brief minute. They still saw that particular energy. So when they saw that energy, they said, well, as long as you dealing with this particular energy, we not coming back. And they didn't come back.
My thing, I don't mean to cut you off.
And I apologize, I didn't mean to cut you off. So the energy manifests itself in the classes where he would put people on the spot and make them uncomfortable with the level of reading and erudition, and kind of belittle people in a public way, which is not.
And that was his thing. He loved to manipulate you, and then he'll act like, you know, oh, I didn't mean it that way, when he did.
So when it was time for individuals to read, because we all went around, you know, the group and reading, can you read this? That's not the way. And then if you televising this,
no, he would do it like like this. He would you have somebody like I don't want to call the person's name, but one of the group members, he would read. He's not a very good reader at all. Okay, but he would be like, you know, you can't read, you know, okay, but what specified when you mean you can't read? Meaning you can't read if you don't comprehend what you're reading. He never did that. He would just thought you can't read. And that's wrong. You don't do that. So that person came to me and was like, why does Jay say I can't read? And I had to explain to him, no, what he meant, you can't comprehend. If you don't comprehend what you're reading, you can't read. So Jay got mad with me because he thought I told him that he couldn't read or whatever. Jay got mad with me, and we were at Lowry Park. And we were sitting there on Dayton, and we were sitting there, and we were like, and I had to get up and go over something. And I could feel the negative energy. I mean, bouncing hard. So, and I'm scoping, and I could feel it. And I went right to Jay, and I'm looking at him like, bro, what's going on? And I talked to him after that, and nope, he talked to Zach. And he told Zach some stuff when I left to go do something with my dog or something. And I came up, of course, and he was saying something about what I said or something I did or whatever. But, I'm going to overlook it. Talk to me. You have a problem with me. That's my thing. Don't go to somebody else. If you got a problem with me, come to me.
Okay.
I'm going to sit down and I'm going to be like, hey, this is how it happened. Or if I'm in the wrong, I was wrong.
On the back of that, let's go into the incident which we're going to refer to as a bifurcation, because at this particular time, the group was flourishing. We had transitioned from the park to
a building.
To the building. And Kanye's domicile was a temporary meeting place because of COVID concerns, I believe it was.
No.
What were the energies that presented themselves that caused the bifurcation? And by bifurcation, I mean the splitting of the group.
Right.
Where there was yourself as a matriarch, a powerful magnetic matriarch, moving away, and the other group, which would eventually become AMPAC. What were the energies that presented themselves in that setting that caused that breakup?
Well, the energies was just negativity all the way around, mainly coming from Jay. Me and Kanye got along, but when it came to Jay, it wedged a big wedge between me and Kanye as well. Jay basically wanted to run everything. If you were not letting him pull your nose around with your hands and finger in your nose, he didn't want to have anything to do with you. So he wanted to remove me because of that. So I saw two people, and I'm going to mention the names, my aunt and Jay, shishin on how to remove me. I saw this. I didn't argue because I already knew I was out the door. I was going to leave anyway because it was too much negative vibes, just negativity. When you have the meeting, it's like whatever it was just hopped around. And I couldn't take it. That's why most of the time when we have meetings, I was in the other room. I don't deal with negative energy at all. I can't do it. It makes me sick. This thing with Jay, I'm going to get back on that because that's been a thorn in my side ever since I left you guys, because I didn't think you guys saw anything that he was doing. I tried my best to hold the group together. That's why I stayed that long, because I could have been moved. Everybody was like, why are you still here? Why are you still sitting around waiting to see what he's going to do? It wasn't my time to move. When something said, move, I made that move. But he didn't do me as bad as he's doing you guys now, but he did me bad.
Where?
To the point where of trying to replace me behind my back, just stupid stuff. He used to come to the house and sit. We would go over a whole lot of stuff, and I was like, okay, he's kind of a cool person. But it was always something there. It was like watching. So that's why I did that.
He would start to change little at a time. We was picking that energy up. And where he really truly flipped,
he attacked him first,
is when he found out, and this is for the record, when he found out who has to run this Moorish government, matriarch, he really showed his little behind.
Yeah, because I worked my tail off. When I left you guys, I worked my tail off. I mean, you guys wouldn't be riding around the plates. It wouldn't be for me first. You wouldn't know who to send it to. Jay wouldn't know who to send it to. It was me that got that stuff done. It was me that suffered to get that stuff done by the Most High. I got that information. My thing is, respect that. You ain't gotta like me. Just respect the hard work that I put out. You know how many times we ended up in court behind not having the proper plates on the car? And now we can ride around and don't have to worry about nothing? That's hard work.
Yes. My brother, when we first started out, 5 people. 5 people out besides the 6 people that stepped down because they didn't want to deal with a certain individual in the group. So they stepped down. So we still have all the appellations, and I counted, including with you, brother, I counted 56 Moorish brothers and sisters. 56. That was then.
The reason that I keep reaching out to you and inviting you to certain things is because in the back of my mind, save for a couple of individuals, I'm looking at what was supposed to manifest in this jurisdiction with yourselves, with Gabonde and Sana, with the body of the Nationals. And it's just through bifurcation after bifurcation, separation based on ego-driven tendencies.
And that's what it deals with.
That we haven't seen the movement progress as fast or
And it's
as
not
far
going to.
as it should have.
As long as there's any type of negativity, any type of not togetherness, it's not going to grow. This thing with Jay is like, I read the post on there, the text, whoever that was sent from, was it Mod or who was that sent that text said he's like a loose bomber or something.
Oh, that was one of the matriarchs. Yeah, suicide.
He is.
Not the suicide
He is.
bomber. That's bad.
He has that mind. And if people don't know, he was or still is or whatever, fed.
Yeah.
He was in the FBI.
That's another thing,
Okay.
how we
He
lost a lot
thinks
of people.
like them.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't think like us. His mentality, they trained him to think that way. So he wants everything in his power. And if he can't have it, he doesn't like you. Straight up. I could care less about him. But hey, that's why I backed away. I tried so hard, to just hold us together. He'll change. Overlook what he do. He'll change. He got worse. So I got to the point I can't do it anymore.
We had one good brother. He was very dedicated. He was doing what he was supposed to do. He called Akira and I and told us if he wasn't going to show up for the meetings and stuff like that. And he let me and Akira know that it was a situation he was in Colorado Springs that he had gotten in trouble. So right when we split up, he got arrested. He got kidnapped, as Moorish called it.
A new Mormon day.
Mm-hmm. Who?
A new.
I know.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And he called out to us. But Jane wanted to run everything. I run this. So we had to tell the brother, and it hurted her to her heart because I remember we stopped what we was doing when he had his car broke down. We left a meeting and let the other people resume the meeting while we went to assist our brother. That's how close we was. So when he reached out to Akira, Jay intervened. So Akira had to tell him, hey, brother, sorry, because he don't know what's going on. You got to go to Jay. We don't know how that turned out. And that by itself hurted her to her heart.
I even reached out to you guys. We had a meeting with Kanye, Gabonde. I think those were the only two at our house. They reached out to us. Mm-hmm. So, and this is after we had went to Delaware, came back.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, we can work together.
Right.
We don't have to be, we could be two separate entities on one part of the city, but work together.
And that's what Delaware had told us.
They didn't want that.
They didn't want that. So they dropped off.
They wanted me to come up under them.
Mm-mm.
Which, no, I'm not going to. Because we need to work. We can have so many people if we work together.
Right, but and this is kind of separate. And I did a video the other day about this, but you got to understand how the colonists work in their government.
Oh yeah,
they're two separate branches.
But they work together.
Branches, I'm saying two separate parties. Well,
right,
three: Democrats, Republicans, and Independents.
Didn't I say that this morning?
And they
I
all
said
work
that.
And
That's
they all work together.
The same government for the purposes of furthering the interests of the people,
right?
The citizens that they govern. And so, in that way, there needs to be some compromise by all of us, so that we can look out for the interests of the nationals people. And not be so into ourselves. Mm-hmm. Like I said, my fear is, and I'm not concerned about Jay so much, but the fact that he is attracting individuals who aren't holding accountable to his constitution, and then it's giving them license to break their own laws, and who's to say they're really breaking them? the international community, because once you go to the United Nations and say, oh, we want international recognition, and I just did a video on this yesterday, by a session, you have to use that as an addendum to your constitution. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you have a constitution, everything that you acceded to is an additional set of rules.
You must amend it, yes.
Now, by breaking any one of those, you're taking yourself out of consideration for non-member status. You see what I'm saying? So you're causing these other people to unknowingly,
and they should know.
Well, ignorance of the law is no excuse. We all know that. However, there's fellowship and not scholarship going on. We all going to the group with you guys for probably the better part of 2 years.
Right.
There was never any contention or animosity.
Right.
Until.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But
my thing is with that, if a person does not respect the matriarch, you don't need them having anywhere in view, anywhere in your group.
That's just like a man.
That's just me,
that's just
because
like a man is not respecting his mom.
one thing on the video I wanted to mention, I heard Jay say about being a Moor. That's your consanguinity. It has nothing to do with a constitution. That's bloodline.
Mm-hmm.
And the Mexicans are us.
Right.
Sorry, he may not want to be there, but he was laying up with one, so how can he say anything about a Mexican?
Video, which basically states,
Oh, wow.
at the time that the contract was signed, which is the Treaty of Peace and Friendship,
Mm-hmm.
what were the dominions of the empire? North, Central, South America, Atlantic, Silent, parts of Africa.
Right.
So you can't just exclude somebody because they're not the shade of melanin that
The only race that are,
contract?
excuse me, the only nationality that is here on this continent that is not supposed to be here are the Albions,
Right.
the pale faces.
Right. And Abdullah has several pages where he highlights all the coats of arms of Central America with feathers prominently displayed in their coat of arms. So
and it's probably one of the ones that I did.
You're going to go from doing a whole study session talking about all of these individual coats of arms represent the Moorish Empire to you're a Mexican and get out of here. He thinks he's smarter than everybody else, and that he wants to try to prove that I'm smarter than you. So I want to put you on the spot so that I could keep you.
He did him that a lot.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I can put you on the spot and everybody sees
that you're the dummy.
You don't know what I know.
Hard.
I had a young lady who worked at the district court level as a clerk for a judge for like 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And I also had a friend who was an individual who has a master's degree. And I would always bring people over, cook, and we would just try to recruit them.
Mm-hmm.
Sound very familiar.
So problem is that he can't adjust his sales pitch, right? So you're talking crazy to people that are more educated than you. So my friend that has this PhD, Jay, we're at the table, we're reading. I can't remember exactly what we're reading, but he's like, read it again. I'm like, you can't do that to him. He's smarter than you. And now he's offended that you are talking down to him, and he's way smarter than you.
He's like that with me. He ain't like when I spoke.
Can grasp this concept, in one take. It doesn't take you trying to beat something into somebody's head. But this was his, and I always tell him, Jay, you got to use a soft mallet. You got to vary it. Like, if you're an athlete, if you're pitching, right? You don't throw fastballs at everybody. Some people need curves, some people need sliders.
Mm-hmm.
Some people get the knuckleball, but you got to vary your pitch, right? Can't. He just all fastball, all gas, no brakes.
But a lot of people don't like you. So everything that you have said from what you have missed, Jaden already did. This us. So when I said they'll find out, let time take its course.
Mm-hmm.
When time takes its course, you can only hide something for so long before the truth reveals itself. When the truth starts to reveal itself, I'm telling you, I'm talking to people in other territories. Hey, what's up with that group? Da, 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 da. And they know Gabande. From Gabande, communicate with them, but the people that Gabande was communicating didn't have no clue. Zacharias had already been talking to them for years. That's a good brother, but he's tired. Who is this dude, Jay?
That's
the dude
why.
weighing him down. And
That's why.
what Gabande is telling behind the scenes to other group members that seeing what y'all doing is reaching out to Gabande talking. So Gabande telling them, and Gabande was sitting here, he'll know exactly what I'm talking about. And know exactly 9 out of 10.
That's why when Gabande was with us, I had him do the minimum. Because I knew he was older and he told me, hey, I don't want to do too much.
I'm tired.
And I agreed to that because you know, I respect that. But you don't run a person in the ground like that.
It wasn't that he was tired.
It was just Jay, per se.
Look, Constitution, trust, foreign.
He's good at that.
Same thing.
I'm just telling you what he did.
Mm-hmm.
Constitution,
I know.
trust, foreign ministry.
Mm-hmm.
He had been doing that at a high level. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But it was only after, let's see, Jay went through, I think, 3 other people. After he set his sights on Gabande, that was the person that he wanted. That's when Gabande got tired. Because you can't do everything that he was doing and defend yourself.
No.
You can't.
You're going to be distracted.
Remember what we said after all this went down? In time, they'll see it.
Mm-hmm.
They'll see the individual for who he really is.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can only wear that mask for so long.
And and
Tariq couldn't stand him.
Mm-mm.
I'm trying to put these words together. I don't want to dishonor all Gabonde's work by letting Jay have it. But that man, that's his life work. Like what he did with the presentation.
And Jay should not have it.
He shouldn't.
What worked on and Gabonde is still with you, right? So
I
what?
talk to him every other day.
So what is worked on? It belongs to Gabonde. It belongs to the Moorish Allodium. It doesn't belong to Jay.
Right, but that's kind of the reason that I'm trying to shine the light on what it is that he's trying to do, so that people know it's not Jay's word. He didn't put this together. Gabonde Wasebe put this constitution together. He put the trust together,
and that's where it should be.
He put these states in alignment so that they could follow in our footsteps. That was him.
Know what Jay tried to take that he ain't even much do?
That seal.
He tried to take it. No, this is way before.
When I left, they tried to take everything that we had. Seal. They tried to take it.
Yeah, tried to take that
the seal. Name and the seal.
Jay did.
Well, no, because Mother Sana actually came up with our seal.
Yeah.
No.
That was before.
Seal. No. Not y'all seal. Our seal.
Yeah,
because Kanye contacted me and said, I know you guys had a break. Now you can come back and y'all can get under us and do what we need to do.
No, that wouldn't happen.
And then he said, I said, well, we're not coming back. And please do not use the government name. And he was like, well, that's our name. And I'm like, no, it's not. And I let him know. And that's when they went with something else.
Yeah.
So like people that they hate you because you're a leader. Mm-hmm. They want to be a leader and they're looking at that trait in you and like, I hate her because that's what I want to be.
Well, get with me.
Right. You'll mentor them.
Yes. Because I like leaders. I don't like followers.
Again, that's in people being humble enough to approach you with the right spirit.
Right.
Right. Because, and this is what I was telling everybody in the government, like, I was elected for 5 years. I have no intention of trying to stay here longer than that. What we're trying to do is put the foundation in place so that whoever comes behind us doesn't.
And that's what Northeast was saying. Just what he was saying. And it's funny he's saying that because he wasn't even much with us in Northeast, and that Northeast said the same thing just came out your mouth.
So we don't. The second administration shouldn't have to redo anything that we did
because you didn't already put it in place, right?
And they can continue on in an upper trajectory,
right?
As I'm gonna give you the floor for like the last 5 minutes, but I want you to kind of be reflective about a message that you can give to matriarchs.
What I would give, the message that I would love to give the matriarchs is basically know who you are. Stand on that. Don't let anybody bring you down, because a lot of our women are being torn down. Yeah, we have some of our brothers dating the Albion, but that shouldn't reflect on us because we are who we are. You know, we have to take leadership, not to, we can't let anyone else do our job. We have a big job. We're mothers. We're sisters. We're aunties. We have a big job. We need to fill those shoes. We need to do our job, not let the man do it. That job is for us. You guys are there to protect us. We're there to help. Whatever you need help, we're there to help each other. Actually, it's not helpmate for you and nothing for me. It's a 50-50 thing. So we need to stand up. We need to be women. It's a lot of things that I can go off into the matriarch about all of this stuff. But like you said, give them a message. Get up, do what we're supposed to do. Laziness is overrated. We need to be women. And just because we have dominion over man does not mean to mistreat the man. Still treat our king like a king. If we have something we need to tell them in a respectable manner. There's a way to talk to anybody, not being in dishonor. That's the biggest thing for me, be in honor. Because being in dishonor will cause you to fall. My thing was for the females, I say again, let's be leaders, not followers. Let's not let the man do the job. We do our job that we need to do. That's the only way we're going to correct this. This whole world is out of balance. Why? Not saying man is bad, but man is in the wrong place. And unless woman steps up and do her job the way she's supposed to do it, we're never going to balance this place out. We're going to continue to fall. That's why we're being ran by people we shouldn't even be up under. We were first. This is our land. Why are we letting an Albion tell the king, queen, goddess, gods what to do? We need to know who we are. And I'm going to end it in this. Within the past couple of years, I've had visions of things. Use what you got. That third eye needs to be open. It's a lot of things. I know people say, oh, I don't believe in astrology. It's a part of you. We all need to use it. We all need to dig deep. Remember I said earlier, don't scratch the surface. Dig deep. Dig deep. That's the only way you're going to know you. Women need to do the same. So when you go to your meetings, tap on that. Gabonde and Sana, those were your key to that. They were real strong in that. That's what I loved about them. Other than that, get your people to know them. Because, yeah, you can learn about treaties. You can learn about whatever. But if you don't know self first, what good is it you to learn all of that stuff? You know, it's not going to be any better than if you don't know yourself. So if you're not learning you, then you're wasting time.